Okay, so my hair is really grown out. I literally wear it like this every day because I'm a loser and I would rather sleep in than take time to do my hair. So I'm gonna cut my own hair. This is currently my hair. I haven't washed it in a few days. I haven't brushed it since I washed it. I haven't touched it. Like, this is my hair. So I really like having longer hair, but what I hate even more than how much I love having long hair is having to brush it out. So this is my gross hair. Look at how oily it is. I haven't colored it in a while, so I'm gonna cut my hair and we'll just see how it turns out. I don't know. Whatever happens, happens, and we're gonna pray about it together, and good luck. Okay. So these are some of my favorite products that I'll be using to comb up my hair, which is the Unite 7 Seconds Detangling Spray. I really like this one. It makes the hair almost like silk to comb through. So we're gonna start with that. And then also, I don't use this at home, but when I'm at the salon, just a good protecting oil. This is gonna help protect your hair from heat, prevent damage. It's gonna help smooth the hair, prevent flyaways when you blow dry. So you have to be cautious though, because some of them are really thick in consistency and can really weigh your hair down and make it kind of oily. My absolute favorite that I use at home is my Paul Mitchell Super Skinny Serum. It's really light. It doesn't make your hair oily. I don't know if you guys remember, like probably 17 years ago or so, when BioSilk came out with it was like their BioSilk oil. That was like the #1 oil that everyone was using, and that one was so thick. And when I ran out of that, I went to Paul Mitchell, and then when I ran out of my Paul Mitchell, I went back to the BioSilk, and that's when I realized how thick it was. Like, it was so thick, it smelled so strongly of alcohol. So you have to be really cautious when you're using some of these oils, because they have a lot of alcohol in it, and that can be really drying to your hair. So my favorite is the Paul Mitchell Super Skinny Serum. It's really light, doesn't make your hair oily, it gives it a nice shine. My hair has a little bit of a wave into it, not much, but when I use the Paul Mitchell Super Skinny Serum and I just let it like air dry, it contains the curl really nicely, and it eliminates the frizz while kind of defining the curl, like not really hardly at all, because it's not like a hold or anything, but it just kind of forms the curl because it eliminates the frizz. So I'm gonna use this one. This is a little bit thicker than the Paul Mitchell, which it still works good. I just know that I can't use a whole bunch in my hair because my hair will get oily. So I would say honestly just that much in your hand, and then where you use heat on your hair the most. So through the ends. And then most people, when you're flat ironing or curling, like you focus mostly like around your face. So make sure that you really get these areas, because that is where you get a lot of damage too. And I just realized when I'm using this Unite, however much that I do like it on my clients, I just feel on myself like it doesn't spread as easily. So I'm just taking note of that. And then just a little smoothing cream by Milkshake, which have grown to love their products. Just a little bit. And just mostly through the ends. You can see that I don't even have anything on my hands anymore, but this is what I use to run through my roots. Time to look the ugliest that people ever look when they're getting their hair cut and they're wearing a cape. And that's when they think to themselves, have I always been this ugly? Yeah, probably. Just saying, I look amazing in this royal shade of blue though. Okay. And this is my worst part of doing my hair. I despise combing my hair out. I hate it. Okay, so when you cut your own hair, not that it's ever gonna turn out amazing, but I part my hair on either side So I'm gonna make sure to part my hair as straight down the center as possible. Okay, so you can see how long my hair is. It was even longer earlier in the year. A year ago, it was way long. So the way that I'm gonna cut my hair is just straight across in the front, and that's gonna create the back to hang a little bit lower because we're pulling it forward, so it kind of preserves the length. So I'm thinking what I could do is I could comb my hair like this and then try to angle it down a little bit to create a little bit more length in the front. I don't know if this is gonna turn out good. I've never done it this way. I've always just snipped it straight across, and then it makes it a little bit shorter in the front and then kind of like U down in the back, which is fine. I think I'm gonna try to cut it that way and then say a prayer because I don't know if it's gonna turn out or not. I don't really care because I know I'm gonna have somebody like reshape it up pretty soon. I just want to get rid of the length right now and like do the facial framing, so we'll just see what happens. Again, we're just doing a little bit at a time. Like, don't take the whole section and just chop it off. Like, try to have a little bit of, you know, be small little pieces at a time. So you can see here that there is my guide, and so I want to match up to that, but we're kind of angling down a little bit. So and then we're gonna just snap. Look at all those patterns going. Feeling okay. And then we'll just kind of square it off. So I'm not really trying to get rid of a whole bunch. I just want to get rid of these ends. Like, you know what I mean? When you're brushing your hair and you're just like, I hate brushing my hair. If I have to wash my hair because I have to brush it, I'm not washing my hair. That's where I'm at right now. That's why it's always in a ponytail. So now we're gonna go onto the side and we're gonna pray again that it ends up, you know, halfway even. Actually, what I could do is I'm gonna take a little bit just off the center into the other side, and I'm just gonna pull a teeny little bit over, and I'm gonna use that as my guide. You can see it's freshly cut, so if I pull it over and I start here, then like the back is somewhat even. Okay, there's a process and there's thoughts to this. It might not be perfect, but you know, we're about 90%. And our guide falls right in there, so I'm just gonna do a little bit more of a snip to make it more defined. Call it good. All right, so we're trying to find our guide, which is right here. Let's see if this is even. So it feels pretty even, so I'm pretty happy with how this falls. If you can see, just took off a little bit of this. Sometimes you gotta go back through, like right in here, I feel like it's just a little bit more pointed down. So we're just gonna snip. Yep. Okay, now because I have the world's largest forehead, we're gonna do our facial framing, and I contemplated bangs at one point, but I just don't want to be committed to bangs. So even though I generally don't part my hair straight down the center, I do go off to either side. So I want to make sure no matter what side I part my hair on, my facial framing will be okay. So I'm going to start down the center. So I want my facial framing to hit kind of like right in here. And just remember that when you pull the hair straight down, when you release it, it's gonna pop up. And also your hair is wet, so when it's wet, it stretches a little bit. So keep in mind that when your hair dries up, it's gonna shrink a lot more. So my hair is pretty much dry, but just keep that in mind. And also because I don't want it to be like a straight blunt line, I'm gonna pull it up a little bit to kind of soften it. You can see by doing this, we're just cutting little slivers of hair. And that's gonna create some shorter lengths so that it's not so blunt and that it will kind of feather a little bit more and give it a little bit more volume without being too short overall. So another thing is when you do your facial framing, do not, and if you see a hairstylist do it, do not take hair any further back than your ear. Because if somebody pulls all the hair forward and then they're doing like facial framing and heavy like layering, they're taking all the hair from back here and blending it. And when you pull your hair back, you're gonna be left with hair that's like this short. So make sure when you do your facial framing or have a hairstylist, part like from your ears and just make sure you're cutting just this part right here. Not everything back here, because you're gonna remove all of that hair around your face and you're gonna be left with super, like a grown-up mullet, like super short hair on your face that like layers down towards the back. And just take a little bit at a time, because again, you want to make sure you're not gonna cut too much hair off at once. So we're gonna start there. We're gonna see our guide. See that it blends pretty nicely. Again, we're not going back any further than there. that I've created my layering, and if I want to soften up a little bit, just gonna go through. Okay, so here's my length after I cut it, and I feel like it looks pretty good and pretty happy with it. I went through with the texturizing shears just to kind of break it up a little bit more so it's not so blunt. And everybody always loves how I curl my client's hair. So I'm gonna go through right now and style my own hair how I normally style my client's hair. I can't guarantee that it's gonna look as good, but we're gonna do it and see how it happens. And also, because I don't like washing my hair, I don't like spraying my hair with hairspray or anything, so I'm not using any hairspray, mousse, gel, or anything in my hair, so that again is a possibility why it might not hold as well. And especially for blondes, make sure that you don't use the temperature on your flat iron any higher than like 350. That can really burn your hair and cause it to go yellow. So all the hair, I always curl back. So every little section, just take it and curl it back. And then try and let the ends just drop out a little bit. Just kind of like that. So you can see after every section, I retwist the hair and hold it in place. The heat is what makes the style, and then letting it cool down like that is what sets it. So you don't want to comb through your curls like directly after curling. Half the time if I run it through the ends, it's just to smooth the ends, not because I want the ends to be curly. So wrap it up and then just pull it straight down, and that's gonna kind of soften the ends a little bit. See? This side. We're not going to talk about my gray hair. I can guarantee you this side is probably going to, ever on my face, I'm probably going to be happier with. We're gonna let it cool for a few minutes. That way it kind of sets the curl a little bit more. And normally I would go through and just spray the hair a little bit, but I don't want to use any hairspray. So we're just gonna let it cool. Okay, I can kind of feel that my hair is a little bit more cooled off now, so I always use a comb. I don't hardly ever use a brush. I feel like I can get more control of the hair when I use a comb. So usually when you kind of finger the curls out, if you want more of like a defined piecey curl, you can just kind of do this thing, which looks totally fine. But the way that I always do my clients is I kind of start at the bottom and just brush through, and usually using the finer tooth is what gets the best curl pattern that I like. And I just brush through. So yeah, just comb straight through. You can spray it a little bit to define it if you have any frizz. Like that frizz, yeah. But yeah, that's how I do my curls. And I just kind of curl it all back all in one direction, and then it just kind of creates like a smooth like body wave all the way throughout your hair. And this has kind of become my signature look that my clients all kind of know me as. I've had a lot of people come in saying like, that's kind of your signature style that you do. And I actually think that's accurate, like it really has. And a lot of my clients always ask me like, how do you achieve, okay, see this guy right here is kind of annoying to me. He's a little bit too curly, so just smooth it a little bit, relax it kind of, there we go. Kind of having a little bit too much of a party right now still, but he'll soften up. But a lot of my clients like to curl their hair like their hair curled like this, and it's actually really easy. Just whether it's with your curling iron or your flat iron, whatever way you prefer styling your hair or curling your hair, just make sure that you curl all of your hair directly back in the same direction. Just take sections that are like, you know, that big, not too big. And then the larger the curling iron or flat iron, the larger the curl and the wave will be. The smaller the curling iron or flat iron, the tighter the wave is gonna be. And then just comb through it. It's just gonna give it more of a waved look. And then if you want it to be more, like for me, I personally like having the ends a little bit straighter. But if you want, you can curl the ends a little bit more, and it will have more of like, kind of like an old Hollywood feel to it. So that's just how I curl my clients' hair, and I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. And don't forget to use heat protectant and keep your temperature down below 350. That's really going to save your hair from damage, especially you blondes. It's going to prevent you guys from having a whole bunch of yellow and warmth in your hair. But yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching, you guys.